of course, the first game is an 8 p.m. kickoff tonight at Stamford Bridge. The game kicks off in in 2 hours' time. It's just hit 6 p.m. So, yeah, hopefully I'll get this video out before the Chelsea game. But yeah, it is Chelsea against Luton. It's literally David versus Goliath. And I still find it crazy how Luton Town are in the Premier League. I just still find it mad. Luton Town are in the Premier League. It's just crazy. Of course, Luton, this is their second game. It's back-to-back away games for Luton. And of course, they were meant to play Burnley, on Saturday, but that couldn't happen because obviously Luton are against a new stand inside Kenilworth Road, so it is Premier League stand to Kenilworth Road is Premier League stand. Of course, they need to fit in VAR and everything. So Luton have had to spend a lot of money on that. But I think Luton's first home game should be this time next week, actually, against West Ham United. And yeah, of course, but yeah, if Luton win tonight, I'll love it. I'll absolutely love it if Luton wins tonight. And if Luton win tonight, mate, I'm going to love it. Because if you don't know, if you are new to the channel, by the way, I am a Spurs fan. I'm a Tottenham Hotspur fan. And yeah, of course, us and Chelsea don't like each other. And mate, it'd be so funny if they lost. It would be absolutely hilarious if Chelsea lost tonight. But I can't see it happening. I know Chelsea lost to West Ham. And literally, looking at the two games Chelsea played so far, Liverpool at home, Chelsea were the better team in my opinion. And then against West Ham, they were the better team first off Chelsea. And then they just let West Ham coming back into the game. And then, yeah, but I'm telling you what, unfortunately I think Chelsea will win. I'm going to go 2 goals for Nicholas Jackson. He looks a really good player. I'm going to go with a goal for Sterling. I thought he was the best player on the pitch in my opinion. So, prediction is 3-0 Chelsea. But come on the Hatters. Come on Luton. And of course, speaking of Spurs, like I said a minute ago, next game is Bournemouth against Spurs. And my God, what a win for us this time last week against Manchester United. We were absolutely brilliant. The first half was even, chances for both teams. But that second half was absolutely brilliant from Spurs. It was absolutely brilliant. Sarr's goal, the own goal from Martinez. It was just absolutely brilliant. We absolutely cooked Man United. And honestly, I watched two. I don't know if you know, of course, Lorenzo Greer, aka Tekken's kid, blah blah. I watched his video with his dad, and he said, and they both said that United were going to win, and they're going to bounce back. And literally, honestly, their ball knowledge is so bad. It's just funny. It's so funny. Their ball knowledge is so bad. But yeah, I put in the comments in their video 2-0. Like, honestly. But anyway, we'll speak about Man United later. But Bournemouth, I didn't watch that game. They won. They lost against Liverpool. But I'm telling you now, I think for the first 20 minutes, I thought Bournemouth were absolutely fantastic. They took the lead. They could have been 2-0 up, but their first goal was offside. But then, of course, Semenyo scored to make it 1-0. But, Bournemouth for the first 20 minutes were really, really good. They put Liverpool under pressure, and they just played really well. But when Liverpool made it 1-1, it just went downhill for Bournemouth. But I reckon they could give us a good game. But, of course, Ange said today in the press conference about Maddison, he left the stadium with a boot on and crutches, yeah, we don't know if he's going to play or not, but I hope he plays because so far I think he's been absolutely class. If not, probably he'll put Lo Celso on in his role. But yeah, I'm going to go 3-1 to Spurs, and yeah, come on Spurs. And of course, the next game is Arsenal versus Fulham. London derby, North London against West London. Now, of course, Fulham lost to Brentford. Arsenal beat Palace. I tell you what, in the Arsenal game, it was a game of two halves. Arsenal dominated one half and Palace dominated the other. The first half was all Arsenal. They had way more possession. They just battered Palace in the first half. But whatever Roy Hodgson said at half time, it worked because Palace were by far the better team. You know, like I said, they had way more possession than Arsenal. They had way more chances than Arsenal. Arsenal literally just sat back for 45 minutes, pretty much. Yeah, they had a couple of chances near the end, but for 45 minutes, Arsenal just sat back. And then, of course, you know, they got that penalty and then they scored. But Fulham, I didn't watch the game, but apparently defensively they were really bad. I saw one of the goals. Honestly, the defending from Fulham was absolutely atrocious. I think it was Mbeumo's goal. Because I know one of Mbeumo or Wisa scored two. I think it was Mbeumo. I'm not sure if it was, but the defending from Fulham was so bad. Literally, just passed the ball to play, took it around and put it in the back of the net. Yeah, but Arsenal, you know, they are at home. It's at the Emirates, so home advantage, 3-0 to Arsenal. But come on, Fulham. Okay, then in the next game we got another London derby. West London versus South London. Brentford versus Crystal Palace. I'll tell you what, I need a drink after this video. I forgot to get one. I should have thought about that. But I think this will be a really good game in my opinion. Two teams who have done alright at the moment. Brentford are unbeaten. Palace, of course, won one, lost one. I think this will be a good game. You know, Palace are going to watch out for Wisa and Mbeumo. Both of them have been outstanding so far this season. By the way, if you haven't already, get Brian Mbeumo and Yohan Wisa in your Fantasy Premier League team. I've got them in mine, and they're getting points. So if you haven't, if there is any people watching this video who do Fantasy Premier League, this is a suggestion. I know you probably can't do it because the deadline is in like 20 minutes from now. So for the next game week, bring in Yohan Wisa and Brian Mbeumo in your team. They will get you points, guarantee. But yeah, I reckon this will be a close game. I think Palace could give Brentford a good game, but I think the advantage Brentford have got is they've got a very good home record. So guess what, guys? Home advantage, 2-1 Brentford. And of course, the next game is Everton versus Wolves at Goodison Park. Now, honestly, both Everton and Wolves conceding 4 goals last week. Everton, of course, losing 4-0 to Villa, and Wolves losing 4-1 against Brighton. And Everton. If Everton keep playing the way they are playing at the moment, I'm sorry, they are going down. If Everton keep playing how they are playing at the moment, they will be playing in the Championship next season. Because so far, they have been absolutely atrocious. They've been absolutely terrible. Honestly, the defence was so bad. Honestly, I don't think Villa were even that good. Literally, Villa, all they did for 90 minutes was pass the ball around, and they somehow scored 4 goals. But Everton were poor. They were so bad. And Wolves as well. I don't know what happened to Wolves. They absolutely outclassed Manchester United. And then a few days later, they get battered by Brighton. Like, just doesn't make sense. But, you know, God knows who's going to win this game. You know, it could be 0-0. But for me, I think Wolves are going to scrape a 2-1 win. I'm going to go 2-1 to Wolves. It's going to be a very scrappy game. But, you know, I think Gary O'Neill's men will get the job done. And I think they'll scrape and leave Goodison Park with 3 points. 2-1 to Wolves. And, of course, the next game is Manchester United against Nottingham Forest at Old Trafford. The Theatre of Dreams. And, of course, that is what Old Trafford is known, the Theatre of Dreams, if you didn't know. Which you should know, because why? I just don't know. But, yeah. So far, so bad for Manchester United. They have been absolutely terrible. They have been so bad. Like against Wolves, even though they won, they were shocking. Wolves absolutely dominated them. And then they came to Tottenham and they got battered. And they got battered again. Midfield was terrible. The defence was terrible. The whole team was terrible. Again, literally again, the only good player for United was probably Onana. Again, literally, Onana is probably carrying Man United at the moment. And honestly, if they do not win at home, this game is being played at Old Trafford, the home of Manchester United Football Club. If Man United do not win this game, then there is something wrong. Eric Ten Hag, if I was Ten Hag, I'd be very disappointed. And if I was Ten Hag, I'd be very disappointed. I'd be getting into the players. This is a game that United got to win. They've got to improve. They've got to kickstart their season, and I do think they'll win. But they've got to turn up. Forest, they were all right against Sheffield United. Of course, Chris Wood scored in the 89th minute to win them the game. But oh, thunder. Ooh. But yeah, but I thought Forest were all right, to be fair. I think in the first half Sheffield United didn't play that well, but I think in the second half, I think Sheffield United probably at least deserved a draw, at least. But excuse me, but I think Sheffield United at least deserved a draw in the second half, in my opinion. But I think United will win. I think they'll finally turn up, and I think they'll finally win. So I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for Man United. And of course, the next game, Brighton versus West Ham. Brighton, 2 games, 2 wins, 8 goals, 2 goals conceded. What a start to the season for Brighton. I think they are they're near the top, to be fair. I think they are either first or second. I'm not sure who is top at the moment, but I know Brighton are up there. But so far, Brighton have been brilliant. They scored 4. Of course, they beat Luton 4-1. Sorry about that. There's a bit of thunder there. Don't know if you heard that. But so far, Brighton, they've been absolutely brilliant. But West Ham, the first half against Chelsea, they were really bad. But second half, they played very well. Of course, Guard scored and put them in front. And then, of course, Chukwuemeka scored to make it 1-1. And then, of course, it was 2-1 from Antonio. And then, of course, Paqueta scored to make it 3-1. But, this isn't going to be an easy game for West Ham. Brighton have been really, really good so far. Solly March has been really good. Estepinian at the back. Brighton have just been absolutely class so far. I've got 2 Brighton players in my FPL team. So, yeah, hopefully Mitoma and Estepinian have a good game. And hopefully one of them score. Hopefully both of them score. But yeah, I have a feeling that this game will have goals. I don't know why. I just have a feeling it's going to have goals. So I'm going to go 3-2 to Brighton. And of course, the next game is Burnley against Aston Villa. Of course, Burnley were meant to play last week, but of course they didn't because their game with Luton was off. And of course, the game was at Kenilworth Road. And of course, like I said earlier, do I need any more bloody interruptions in this video, please? Shut up. Right, sorry. Let's go to the thunder again. But yeah, and of course, the game, of course, Luton Burnley didn't happen last week as, yeah. It doesn't matter. But yeah, Aston Villa, of course, they come into this game after they absolutely battered Hibernian. Bruv, I need a drink, man. My throat is dry. But Villa do come into this game after they beat Hibernian 5-0 in the first leg of the playoff round of the Europa Conference League. And literally, it was like a training game for Villa. They were absolutely world class. And Ollie Watkins, mate, 3 goals against Hibs. And you're in my FPL team. What's going on, lad? Come on. Like, honestly, Villa, I actually watched the game. I thought Villa were absolutely class. Hibs were just terrible. And Villa just walked over them. And literally, just get Villa into the final already. They're too good. But for me, Villa, I think they will win this game, in my opinion. To be fair, Burnley, when they played Man City on the opening day, of course, the game was at Turf Moor. I don't think Burnley were actually that bad against Man. Of course, Burnley, their last game was the Man City game. And to be fair, I actually don't think Burnley were that bad. So, if Burnley played how they did against Man City, maybe they could get a draw out of this. But I'm going to go Villa win. In the Claret, and funny enough, Burnley and Aston Villa both playing Claret and Blue. So it's the Claret and Blue derby. And I think Villa will win the Claret and Blue derby. So it's going to be 2-0 to Aston Villa. And of course, the next game is Sheffield United against Manchester City. And of course, Sheffield United, of course, so far, not really that great. But I think the game last week, I think Sheffield United deserved a point. First half, yeah, they weren't that great. But I think in the second half, I think Sheffield United at least deserved a draw out of that game. Second half, they had a lot of chances. By the way, what a goal from the new signing, Gustavo Hamer, the Brazilian guy from Coventry. What a goal. When he got the ball, edge of the box. Oh, it was a great goal. But, this, it's going to be a hard game. This could be about 5 or 6 to Man City, but there is no Pep Guardiola because I think he's had back surgery. So I do hope that Pep Guardiola's okay. But of course, thoughts and prayers go out to Pep. And yeah, I hope he is okay. But whether Pep's there or not, City are going to win. It's going to be Sheffield United 0, Man City 4. 4-0 to Man City. Haaland hat trick. I've called it. Clip it. Haaland is going to score a hat trick. And of course, the final game is Newcastle versus Liverpool. Probably game of the weekend, I would say. Well, it is game of the weekend because why is it half all? But yeah, this is going to be a really good game. Liverpool, like I said, the first 20 minutes against Bournemouth, they were really poor. They were sloppy, they were sluggish. But when it was 1-1, it completely changed. I have to be honest, they really got going. And then they ended up winning the game. By the way, absolutely never a red card from McAllister, but of course Liverpool did appeal it, and the red card has been overturned. So McAllister will be available for this game on Sunday, which I think Liverpool fans are glad about. Honestly, still though, how is that a red card? Literally, it's a coming together. How can you give that as a red, honestly? But of course, Newcastle 1-0 loss against Man City. To be fair, that Man City-Newcastle game, I actually thought it would be a good game, to be fair, but the game was so bad. It was so boring. Honestly, it was boring. City were just passing it around. Newcastle, that City-Newcastle game was really, really boring. So hopefully this game can live up to its expectations, because I think this will be a good game. Liverpool at the back, again, they weren't really that good against Bournemouth, even though they won. And even though, I think throughout the game, I thought Liverpool at the back were quite poor, to be honest. But God knows how the Liverpool defence are going to do against Isak, Gordon, Guimaraes. But I'm going to go, a lot of people have predicted this, and I'm going to agree with them. I'm going to go Newcastle 2, Liverpool 2. I'm going to go 2-2 draw, 4-goal thriller, lots of goals, and hopefully lots of action. So yeah, 2-2 will be the score between Newcastle United and Liverpool. The Geordies against the Scousers. Anyway guys, thank you for watching this video. I'm going to go get a drink. My throat's dying, and I'll see you in the next Premier League predictions.